This is Hannibal here from the Hannibal TV on YouTube with a daily wrestling news update. But before I get into the daily wrestling news, let me just remind you at 1 p.m. Eastern time today, or maybe a little bit later, because it is Marty Jannetty. I have an interview, a Christmas special with one of my favorite guests and one of your favorite guests, Marty Jannetty. So I'm really looking forward to that, and he will take some fan questions. As far as the wrestling news, it's been talked about by Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer. Bronson Reed, who they booked to jump off of the cage at Survivor Series over the weekend, despite being over 300 pounds, broke his ankle. Juice Robinson from AEW is also injured and will be out the rest of the year at least. Kevin Nash has a shoulder injury, and both biceps are torn, apparently. So he's going to be getting a lot of surgeries. I wonder if he's going to ever have that retirement match. He might. I mean, I'm sure Saudi Arabia would pay big bucks if Nash could get patched up to have a retirement match. Jey Uso, of course, broke one of his toes, also jumping off the cage at Survivor Series. And Maria Kanellis, who, despite being under AEW contract forever, I know it expires soon or it's just expired. They never really used her. I don't even know why they hired her or Mike Bennett, who's never been over ever. Um, she's had a tumor removed that I guess was non-cancerous. The next Saturday night main event after December is going to be January 25th. They're going to have one a quarter. I would say this Saturday night's main event coming up in the next couple weeks here from what's it called? Long Island, New York, the Nassau Coliseum. The main event of Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens is very underwhelming because there is absolutely no chance in hell that Kevin Owens is going to beat Cody Rhodes. He's just not in that top tier of WWE wrestlers. So I would say it's a bad. I know Kevin Owens is Triple H's boy, but to appeal to regular fans that might not be follow WWE or be that interested in WWE, that's a very lackluster match. That doesn't make me want to tune in at all because I know Cody Rhodes is going to win. And Kevin Owens is nothing special. It's the fat guy in a t-shirt. He's a great politician, but he's one of the most overrated wrestlers in wrestling. As I said, in my opinion, that that does not that should not be the main event of your very first Saturday night's main event. AEW absolutely bombed in ratings for Dynamite last week. The first Dynamite after they wouldn't shut up about how much the Costco guys boosted talk of AEW after Full Gear, because all we heard about at Full Gear, which wasn't overall that well liked to pay-per-view. The main thing coming out of it was the Costco guys had a match, and this is great. The kid double leg takedown or speared a grown man to set up the finish. Oh, this is wonderful. This is going to turn AEW's business around. 0.15 rating, just over 500,000 people watched Dynamite, the lowest Dynamite rating of all time. And if you actually look, the last time I looked at that match, the Full Gear pre-show from YouTube with the Costco guys, it didn't even have 400,000 views. So for touting that this is great because they got on Jimmy Kimmel and all these people talking about they were wrestling, I mean, well, it certainly probably drew some people in New Jersey where they're from and they're popular in New Jersey. I think it was more of a bad thing for wrestling overall. So AEW Dynamite, as I said, they did their lowest rating ever from Chicago last week. The Wintrust Arena, probably, you could say one of their home arenas because they go there a lot. Let's just go over the card for the hell of it to see some of the reasons why it didn't get a good rating at all. Mark Briscoe faced Shelton Benjamin. Wow, they're not even saying who won, so I won't even tell you who won. But Mark Briscoe wrestled Sheldon Benjamin. Let's see here, who won. I guess Shelton pinned Mark Briscoe. Mercedes Monet cut a promo. She's been a complete flop for the $4 million she's getting. Chris Jericho, who is making a ton of money but doesn't have that much buzz right now. And Big Bill, good potential future star, versus, Chris Jericho, managed by Big Bill, beat Tomohiro Ishii. Again, these Japanese guys have zero interest from people in the U.S. Renee Paquette did an interview with Swerve Strickland and Prince Nana. Tony Schiavone interviewed Hangman Page. Ricochet, WWE mid-carder, versus Claudio Castagnoli, another WWE mid-card. I'm not saying they're not talented, but we're just going over why AEW has no buzz and why they're hitting all-time lows, seemingly on a weekly basis. So I guess Claudio won. Claudio beat Ricochet, which is surprising. There was an interview with Don Callis and Kyle Fletcher, who is the most plain wrestler ever. Adam Cole. Oh, speaking of Mike Bennett, did I tell you guys how boring he is? Adam Cole did something in the ring with Matt Taven and Mike Bennett. Then we wonder why we hit all-time lows. Jamie Hayter wrestled Queen Amatada. Hayter won. There was an interview with Renee Paquette and Mina Sharikawa. Darby Allin Brody King pinned Darby Allin. So there you go. I like Brody King, but again, who wants to see a 6'6" guy wrestle a 5'7" guy? But I do like Brody King. So let me know if you guys are surprised that AEW keeps hitting all-time low ratings, and they seem to be going down the same booking path. What is the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing and expecting different results. Keep pushing all these independent darlings, which, by the way, AEW has pretty much killed off the independent scene by hiring all the independent darlings, for better or worse. One of the few things that's going to help keep the indie scene alive in the future is this WWE ID program, which is smart by them because they're going to have first crack at any of the new independent stars that appear. But like, where you hit an all-time low, where's MJF, who you're supposedly paying $5 million a year to? Where is John Moxley, who you're supposedly paying $6 million a year to? Where's the Young Bucks on that card, who you're supposedly paying $6 million a year to? I don't know. It just seems, if you're hitting all-time lows, why not use the very best people you have as far as who the public knows to try and get you out of the jam? But it's interesting to me about the fall of AEW. To me, that's the most interesting thing in wrestling these days. Like, not that it will ever go out of business because it's owned by a multi-billionaire, and as CM Punk said, they'll keep it in business as long as they want it to be in business. But right now, you could say it's far worse than WCW was. And according to what's going around, they're on track to lose about $40 million this year. So, yes, with all this ridiculous money that WBD is paying them to get lower ratings than NXT most of the time, which NXT is getting far less from CW. So WBD kind of got ripped off in this deal. They would have been better off going after NXT. They will probably turn a profit the next 3 years because they're making so much money, but how much have they lost the past 5 years? And are they going to get renewed after those 3 years? That's an interesting thing. I hope it gets better. I hope it becomes more entertaining to the common man, people like me that don't care about the indie darling wrestlers and actually hate seeing the leg slapping and continuous flips. Speaking of leg slapping and flips, where is their Will Ospreay on that card? Am I missing something, or did they not even use him? They're paying him a fortune too. He wasn't even on that all-time low rated Dynamite. So they really need to shake things up because it's just the only records they're setting is how bad can you get?